What's going on, guys? RBG here, back with another video for Marvel's Avengers, and there's been some pretty funny stuff going on in terms of news lately. And when I say funny, I mean that influencers who've already claimed that this game is going to be a dumpster fire and how they aren't going to get it are still yelling in their little echo chambers about how the game is going to be a cheap cash grab. And you all have heard me explain how this couldn't be any further from the truth, but it looks like I have to put on my good old negotiator hat once again in this video. Now, before we get started on the video, I gotta give a huge shout out to today's sponsor, TubeBuddy. As a successful YouTube user, I often get questions asking what I use to get my videos tons of views, and the answer to that is TubeBuddy. This thing has helped me take my channel to the next level in ways I never imagined. It's a browser extension that helps new and experienced YouTubers grow fast and optimize their channels. I've been using this extension for years, and it's constantly getting updated with new features, like the SEO tool that helps me come up with the perfect title, description, and tags to get more people to click on my videos. It even provides you with analytics besides your videos to see how much traffic your video is generating from various social media sites. The extension is absolutely free, but as a special offer, we're giving a 50% discount for channels that have less than 1,000 subscribers that purchase the Pro upgrade. All you have to do is enter in the code RISINGSTARBuddy. So if you're interested in starting a YouTube channel or taking your content to the next level, download the extension now. You can do so by clicking on this link that'll be provided in the description of this video. So yeah guys, once again there seems to be a disturbance in the force. Firstly, we gotta talk about the ridiculous article that was put out courtesy of Push Square. Like, this is a good example of passive aggressiveness that you see with most gaming news sites and influencers. They either have to continuously point out how bad the game is going to be but mention that they still want to review it, or they claim to like the game but they just wish it looked like something more akin to a CG trailer, which is what Push Square's biggest issue seems to be with Marvel's Avengers. If only Marvel's Avengers looked as good as this flashy CG trailer, they say. Marvel's Avengers is shaping up to be a solid superhero themed co-op brawler, and we're really looking forward to playing the final version next week. However, it's clearly not without its flaws, and this flashy CG spot makes us dream of the game it could have been. While this promotional spot is only 60 seconds long, it packs in more awesome than we experienced in several hours with the releases of recent beta. Nevertheless, we're remaining optimistic, especially with Spider-Man on the horizon. So as you hear, Push Square says that they're really looking forward to this game while simultaneously crapping on it since it doesn't look like the CG trailer. And man, I've heard it all at this point. As if complaints of the characters not looking anything like the movie actors wasn't funny enough, we now have people getting butthurt about the actual gameplay, which is showcased first, might I add, not looking anything like the CG trailer. Welcome to 2020, people, where we pick apart everything because it's the popular thing to do. Isn't it crazy how these journalists claim to be passionate gamers when most of that passion is going towards creating negativity when it's not necessarily warranted? There was never a rule that stated that CG trailers has to represent everything tick for tack that will be in the actual game. If anything, they're made to get the viewers more hyped. Having hyper-stylized and extremely chaotic action is nothing new when it comes to this form of advertising. We've seen so many awesome games like the God of War franchise. Like, Sony has done this a lot with those games, and even though some of the things are over-exaggerated, it never really affected my overall experience. I still enjoyed the hell out of them. And then we have another Sony exclusive in the form of Marvel Spider-Man, who's also released a CG trailer that didn't necessarily represent the actual gameplay. I don't think you could pulverize all the villains into actual dust, and if I'm not mistaken, you could only catch miscellaneous items or debris with your webbing through QuickTime events. So what's not to say that we won't be able to experience that huge battle in Marvel's Avengers CG trailer through a QuickTime event as well. Like, I'm surprised I have to explain this stuff. We're in 2020 and people are comparing CG footage from a trailer to actual gameplay. Come on, bruh. And it just doesn't end there with the ridiculous outrage mongering from Push Square. You see other little articles from them as well, such as this one. Marvel's Avengers rubs salt in the wound with Spider-Man sticker on the PS4 box. And oh boy, there'll be a backlash to this Marvel's Avengers trailer. Like, we got rage mongering over a freaking sticker just to keep those clicks going. And some of you guys just eat it all up. You constantly come back to my videos and you say that this game is gonna flop. But as soon as Sony announced that they had that exclusivity deal in place for Spider-Man, you guys came back to my videos acting like you were interested in buying the game in the first place. Like, just when we thought we weeded out all the crybabies, they sprout back up to give us more reasons why they aren't gonna buy the game. And I guess I can't blame y'all for being this way, because you literally have no mindset of your own. Common sense is non-existent for you, and you need outrage influencers to lead you. Like, if you've been following my channel, you already know my view. If you say that you're not feeling the game or you're not liking the designs, then I can respect that. I mean, although I see the potential, I can admit that it's not perfect. There are a lot of things that I feel like the developers could have done, but they didn't, whether it be for creative reasons or they didn't think of it. And I gotta point the finger at some of you guys who blindly defend this game's flaws and call me a hater for criticizing them, because y'all are just as bad as these outrage mongers. You guys have no idea of how weird of a place I'm in with this game, because when I debunk certain things with common sense, I get called a shill, but when I criticize things that I don't like about the game, I get called a hater. So I don't really have a hill to die on at this point. But what I do have is common sense, which I'm going to continue to use when it comes to influencers continuously outraging for clicks. The last time I made a video like this, I pointed out why people were blowing the microtransactions completely out of proportion. If you guys had to play the drinking game every time I had to explain this, you'd be drunk. But the post-launch content will be free. Only the cosmetic side of things will cost you money. Let me repeat that again. Post-launch content such as heroes and maps will be absolutely free of charge. Only the cosmetics will cost you. And we all know about cosmetics, right? They're usually the things that don't necessarily serve a general purpose outside of being aesthetically pleasing to the eye. They have no bearing on how the actual gameplay will be, nor will they affect the other players in any way. Like, the only thing I can see it bringing out of other players is envy, because my character looks cooler than theirs. And I just gotta say, I'm not really the biggest fan of alternate cosmetics, since I usually play the game with the default costumes that comes with the characters. But I can't deny that some of the costumes in Marvel's Avengers look better than others. And something that's worth pointing out is that this game already has a ton of costumes that can be unlocked after completing things like daily challenges. And I'm pretty sure as you progress through the campaign, you'll be able to unlock even more costumes that work within the context of the game's story. But it seems like most of the cosmetics that will be put behind a paywall are nothing more than recolors. And you have your occasional costume that features different patterns. So yeah, nothing worth crying about like some of your favorite outrage YouTubers are doing right now as I'm making this video. Like, we're crying about cosmetics as if it's going to determine if I'm going to save the day in the actual game or not. But we're completely undermining the fact that the developers are going to be giving you all these unique characters and additional content for free. We're getting all the important stuff at no additional cost, but we rather complain about skins. And don't you just love how Push Square tries to act like they weren't even aware of any of this going in? Crystal Dynamics has always promised that the superheroes added to Marvel's Avengers after launch will always be free, but what it didn't tell us until now is that the cosmetics associated with those characters will have to be unlocked via a purchasable battle pass. That's what they're surprised at, even though Crystal Dynamics flat out told us that the cosmetics will be placed behind a paywall. And I find it funny that they managed to skim over all the important details on how you could actually obtain these cosmetics without having to spend a dime. Like, they didn't mention that you could actually, complete the hero challenges to unlock all of the rewards as opposed to actually buying them with real money. And if you don't feel like completing the challenges, you can actually use in-game credits you've earned in the game to purchase those cosmetics. But for some strange reason, they didn't disclose that little tidbit. While they do mention that the 6 base superheroes will have their hero challenge cards unlocked straight away, they harp on the fact that the hero challenge cards for the post-launch heroes will cost you 1,000 credits, and how it'll cost you $10 if you want to spend your actual money. Like, while I understand that life is hard out here, especially with the pandemic going on, it's important to note that you have the option to spend your money wisely. No one is holding a gun to your head and forcing you to walk down this one-way lane, and the same can be said for this game. Something else that Push Square failed to mention is that the players will have access to 6,000 credits as soon as they boot up the game. So you can either choose to save those credits for future content, or you can spend them on things you can unlock completing challenges. We currently have what looks to be 4 post-launch characters ready to be revealed, and 6,000 credits is a pretty good amount of in-game currency I can spend on all of their rewards if I want to. And even after I decide to spend my credits on those 4 post-launch characters, I still have 2,000 left, which I just have to save and build back up by completing other challenges. And this is something similar that they did with the beta. Like, they gave you a lot of credits, and I remember recklessly spending all the credits they gave me on costumes because I didn't notice that I could unlock them through things like hero challenges. And I spoke to a lot of my YouTube friends such as Lejeune, shout out to him, and he mentioned that he did the exact same thing because we weren't aware that we could complete the daily challenges and save up those credits for something else, but now we know. According to the info provided on the Square Enix website, if you complete all the challenges provided on your hero challenge card, not only will you gain back all your 1,000 credits, all the content you'll earn has a value of over 12,500 credits. And the hero challenge cards don't rotate and won't be retired, so once you've activated premium rewards, there's no limit or risk in spending your focus between heroes. So yeah, while spending $10 on costumes, nameplates, and emotes and outfits sounds tempting and all, I'm gonna actually have fun and complete the challenges. If you don't want to spend your actual money, then it should encourage you to do the same. I mean, it is just optional. That little option shouldn't impact your overall experience with the actual game. You know, my wife's grandma once told me, it's hard to be mad at something if it's barely even there. So either get the game or shut the hell up. But with that, I'm gonna conclude the video. I hate having to make videos explaining everything because they only leave me with the burden of editing. Like, this is why I'm always a day late on these things, because I gotta break things down for you guys. But anyways, let me know what you think in the comment section below. As always, I ask you to like or dislike the video. It doesn't have to be a thumbs up, it can be a thumbs down. Any feedback is good feedback and will only help me improve on future videos. But if you really enjoyed the video, it would help me out tremendously if you shared it with all your friends and followers on social media. YouTube hasn't been too kind to me on the algorithm side of things, so it really helps me out if you share the video. But once again, this is your boy RBG signing out on another video. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.